I don't know your writing process, but a lot of the people I've known that wrote good songs, Daryl Hall.
God, what a legend. Love him.
Yeah, that was my like first kind of
big gig.
Big gig, yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny when I got hired for
I'm a huge fan of those Hall Oates days.
Those records are so good.
Come on.
Those
they
records
still just bang.
They sound amazing.
They just sounds crushing still.
It really does.
Yeah, it's just like there's no wonder they were as huge as they were. It's like how it's undeniable.
Well, you know, they had a big breakout in the mid '70s when they had Sarah Smile, Rich Girl.
That's my favorite still, Sarah Smile.
Sarah Smile, what a record, right?
Beautiful.
Great song.
Yeah. And
then it kind of fell off.
Oh, did it?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it really did.
Oh, that's good to hear.
They did
because you know it inspires you to like keep swinging,
keep swinging.
Even Hall and Oates fell off for a second because
when they hired me, which I think was at the tail end of '78.
Just when it was about to go nuclear.
Right. Well, they hired me, and I got $200 a week when we first went on the road. $100 to play the guitar, and $100 to drive one of the station wagons.
That's wild.
And we were playing.
That's wild.
We were playing bars, and we were playing joints.
Right.
You know, but pretty quick, they recorded. You know, we got in the studio and recorded and got some records out, and things started popping pretty good, and it went from the station wagons to Learjets and limos. And stayed there, you know. Yeah. So I was with them from '79 to '85.
That's a good long run in the music business. Man.
We had a great time.
Yeah.
All over the world. Some of those records, like Man Eater.
Yeah.
That song Man Eater.
Oh, fuck
that
yeah.
record was so big all over the world.
Yeah. I used to roller skate to Man Eater. Dude, I used to go to the roller rink and fucking fuck with Man Eater.
Were you on the albums too?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. We what we would do once things really got rolling. At that time, the way they toured, it took 9 months to do the world. I'm putting the air quotes around the world. It took 9 months to do a world tour. We would do the United States, of course, Canada, Europe, Japan. They were huge in Japan. Daryl and John, just huge. We would do Japan and Australia, New Zealand. Right. Come back, maybe take a month off, and then go into Electric Lady.
Okay.
And do a record.
Is that where you cut those records?
That's where we cut most of the stuff that I did with them.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, most of the stuff. And it was kind of the dawn of the digital recording world.
Is that right?
Yeah.
80s?
Early 80s.
Really?
Early 80s. I think that the first CD was released in 81, right?
Oh, right. That's true.
I think the first digital recording, Ry Cooder and Springsteen did the first two, or some of the first three digital recordings. We actually did a session from Electric Lady with Stevie Wonder. He was in Tokyo, I think. So it was the first time, because of digital, that we could link up and do something at the same time.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And we had Daryl and John bought one of the first, if not the first, Synclavier, which was a
Synclavier. Is that
however you say it. We used to call it Synclavier, but
Synclavier. Yeah, I've always heard it called Synclavier or whatever.
And that was
that crazy sampler.
It was a sampler. It was the first.
Cost like $50,000, right?
$50,000. I think it was more.
Like $100,000. Yeah, there was like 4 of them.
Big money.
Peter Gabriel had one.
Yep.
And like,
I think Daryl and John.
Daryl
and John got like the first or the second one, and not only did you get the instrument, it was a keyboard thing. It was a synthesizer, but it would work off samples. You could record into it.
Now you can get one at the App Store for 99
cents. Right? You probably can. One that with more function.
Right.
But not only did you get the instrument, a guy.
Yeah, you needed a guy.
You got a guy.
You got a teacher. Yeah, because it was so fucking complicated.
The guy came on the road with us.
There's a Synclavier guy.
Dude's name, his name was Wells.
Right.
He came from the factory with this thing.
In the box.
In the box.
No, you pump him up. He comes.
He comes.
You pump him up. It comes with an air pump.
Do you have to pay for his food on the road?
Nah. He's self-sustaining.
Self-sustaining.
Just like
You
throw
plug
some
them into the
you
sink
plug
with
them
it.
in. Yeah.
But yeah, it was so expensive that you got a guy with it. But they were into that stuff.
Yeah.
And they were also there for the dawn of MTV.
Right.
And Tommy Mottola, who was their manager at the time, legendary music business guy.
Yeah.
And Daryl and John, they were very aware of that MTV was going to be
huge.
A big deal.
Yeah.
And we had 7 or 8 or 9 videos in the can ready to go when MTV came on.
Man.
So in like the first...
Perfect timing for everything.
I remember when the night it came on, which I could be wrong, but it was in April of 81, I think.
Yeah.
We were out in like, I think Norman, Oklahoma or somewhere playing at the university, Oklahoma State University. We had done a gig. And I remember we came back to the hotel and we all went to somebody's room and watched this MTV come on the air.
Yeah.
You know?
That's crazy.
And back then, there were no commercials.
Yeah.
There were only music videos.
Yeah. What year was that?
81, I'm pretty sure.
81?
I'm pretty sure it was April of 81. We'll have to check.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah,
what is it?
MTV's midnight at August 1st, 1981.
There you go. Okay, so it was August.
Nice.
August 1st, yeah.
Man.
And we were in Norman, Oklahoma. I do remember that.
What was the first Hall & Oates video?
That came on? Ooh, I don't remember right now.
I'll look that up.
Which one? Yeah. What was the first Hall & Oates video played on MTV?
But my friend Greg Dooley, I don't know if you're familiar with the Afghan Wigs.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
But we're big Hall & Oates fans, and we're one time nerding out on Hall & Oates records and talking about the fact that almost all of them have fade outs.
Yes.
Isn't that
that's
funny?
That's
they
classic.
just keep going forever.
Long fade outs.
Long fade outs.
They were so into that, and we would sit in the studio, you know, and go, "No, man, make it longer." Right here. When Mickey, the drummer, when Mickey does that little thing, then we go out.
Oh, right.
That's where you can't hear it anymore.
Yeah.
But remember the song?
They all fade out.
Yeah. Out of Touch.
Yeah.
Song,
dude.
Oh wait a minute, am I doing the wrong key? That's it.
Yeah.
You're out of touch. I'm out of time. Going out of my head when you're not around. You're out of touch.
I'm out of time.
Waking up is all that we know. Oh, man.
Yeah, dude.
So I remember playing on that record, and when it got to the chorus, you know, you can hear that guitar. It's a big old Gretsch with a Bigsby, you know, just wanging that chord. And great songs.
Great thrilling times, man.
It was.
How'd you get hooked up with them?
They're Pennsylvania guys. I'm a Pennsylvania guy.
Oh, okay.
But they were in the studio in the summer of, I guess it's the summer of 79. Yes, summer 79. They're in the studio, and they were having trouble with guitar players.
Mm-hmm.
A guy named Eddie Zine, who had played drums with them in that mid-70s period, I had worked with a band out of the city here called Desmond Child and Rouge.
Oh, okay.
Desmond went on to write a lot of songs.
Hitmaker.
Big hitmaker.
I got to meet him recently.
Loving an Elevator.
He's still doing it.
He's doing it.
Yeah, Loving an
Amazing
Elevator.
guy.
Yeah.
But he wrote a
Dude looks like a lady.
Dude looks like that's the one. Dude
Dude looks like a lady.
Dude looks like a lady.
He's a dope dude.
Yeah, he is. He knows what he's doing.
He's a cool dude.
But he was young. We were all young then, and he had this record out. So Eddie Zine had played drums in that outfit when we were out on the road and making the records. And then so he had dropped by to visit with Daryl and John just to say hey. And they were really having a problem with this guitar player that night. And Eddie said, well, I know a guy that plays, you know, that you might like. And he's from Pennsylvania, like you guys. And so they're like, okay, send him around, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I came and I met him, and Daryl at the time had an apartment in the West Village, and he said, well, come over to my place tomorrow afternoon, and we'll play. Bring your guitar, and we'll play.
Like an audition.
Yeah. He said, I got a piano there, and we'll play. So I got my guitar, and might have brought a little amp with me, and I go up in his apartment, and we sit down, and we start talking, and I used to wear some clothes in those days, my crew cut and stuff, and he wore some clothes himself.
What do you mean, like you all dressed up to kill?
I had some, yeah.
You guys were killing it?
Those were different times,
People were more fun?
Yeah, well, I was anyway. So he liked something I had on, a shirt or something.
Yeah.
Vintage. I used to wear a lot of vintage clothing,
Right on.
And the crew cut was still real weird.
Right.
79. It was weird.
It was weird.
Yeah. Like Jerry Murata, who was the drummer.
Yeah, he used to play with Peter Gabriel.
He played with Gabriel, exactly.
Yeah, I almost got to play with him.
Jerry's a fantastic musician. Great guitar player, great
musical,
singer.
Very musical dude.
He can sing.
He's upstate, I think.
Yeah.
We should try to get in touch with him.
Yeah, you should. Tell him I said, hey, if you do. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
But I was walking with Jerry one time, and I was wearing like this gray suit from about 1960, and I got the crew cut, and we're walking past the Port Authority building, and Jerry starts laughing. I said, what are you laughing at, man? He said, man, we're walking down here, 42nd Street. People are looking at you. Like I was so weird looking to people back then.
You just had the light, dude.
I don't know. I don't know if it was the light. I had something going.
You were wild. You're a wild character.
But anyway, I went up in Daryl's apartment that day, and we started talking about clothes, and then we talked about Pennsylvania a little bit and music, because him and John both loved all the old, the Motown and the that stuff. Like, I don't know if you know these records. There was a great whole bunch of records that came out of Philadelphia and Chicago. The Dells and the Chi-Lites and the Delphonics, didn't I blow your mind this time, didn't I? And then somebody go, wah, like 4 octaves above where there were some guys singing, all those. And I knew all those records. I knew how to play them. And so we talked about all that. But we never wound up playing a note.
Right.
I just got the gig.
Oh, just from
the
nice
chat
and because you look
and
cool as fuck.
Yeah.
That's funny as hell.